Southeast Alaska Conservation Council, working to conserve and protect Alaska's ecosystems while supporting communities through the sustainable use of our region's resources. Southeast Alaska is one of the world's last unspoiled ecosystems. Glaciated peaks that seem to go on forever. Millions of forested acres. Thousands of miles of untouched coastline. Thriving biodiversity has become synonymous with Alaska, a conservation challenge, and a proving ground. SEACC is involved in many community environmental projects. One of these projects is to develop a new sustainable business model for logging. In the heart of Southeast Alaska lies the small town of Wrangell. Near the mouth of the Stikine River, a world-class river, one of the largest in Alaska. This area has always been the home of the Tlingit and Haida. This is the site of petroglyphs which chronicle the ancient inhabitants of this area. And today, a proud tradition of life in the Tlingit way persists. But in the 1970s, Wrangell was the epicenter of a huge logging industry. It had developed quickly around the easy access to old-growth forests, and around the islands it was easy from the water to get these trees. The industry vanished almost as fast as it sprang up, and by the mid-1990s it was a thing of the past, leaving in its wake a diminished ecosystem and a devastated economy. One of the long-term effects of clear-cut logging is the loss of deer habitat. 20 to 40 years after the logging occurs, competing trees growing in dense stands block the light to the forest floor. This reduces deer browse. A reduction in deer numbers has been noticed in clear-cut areas.
The clear cutting in Wrangell has made it more difficult to be able to hunt deer.
You know, the practice of the past has been pretty much clear cutting, and in some areas massive clear cutting in a way that actually harmed the wildlife and reduced deer populations. So you have a lot of different folks who depend on an intact forest and watershed. There's a pretty significant transformation happening in the Tongass, and that transformation is a movement away from industrial scale old growth logging towards more high value and lower volume milling of the wood off the Tongass National Forest. There's more of a focus on recreation, restoration, and clean and renewable energy in addition to that. And we are really trying to figure out in Wrangell what that transition is ultimately going to look like, and how we can create long-term sustainable jobs on the forest with this new policy.
SEACC worked with the community to find solutions to economic needs without damage to the local environment. Sawmills can take a sustainable yield of trees year after year and produce lumber for the local area, as well as add value by using the byproduct from this lumber to produce home heating products.
So in Wrangell, we've got a lot of folks very excited, and we're moving forward with a plan to create what are called bio-bricks. And the idea is to use the wood waste from our small mills and municipal solid waste like paper, cardboard, and scrap wood, grind it up into a compressed product that can be used to heat homes. It's cheaper than electric and oil heat.
Bio-bricks to our elders would mean something affordable for them to heat their homes with, because the price of oil, the price of electrical heat is going up every year, and they can't afford it.
To find out more about Southeast Alaska Conservation Council's projects, visit SEACC.org, SEACC.org.